very lightheaded, so the altitude is really getting to my brain. I was like sitting there and the guy came and said like, "You're sitting on my seat." I was like, "No, it's my seat."
Hello and welcome to another aviation challenge. After flying to the highest airport in Asia, it was now time to visit the highest airport in South America and hopefully not die from altitude sickness.
Kind of reminds me of Kabul and
The plan is to take a flight from Santa Cruz to La Paz on Bolivian Airlines and return on a 20-year-old Avro jet operated by EcoJet, the only other airline in Bolivia. So lean back and get your oxygen supplies ready because we are in for some really thin air.
So guys, and here we are, Buenos Dias, a beautiful good morning from Santa Cruz International Airport, on a mission today to fly to the highest international airport in the world, located in La Paz. So let's check in for the first flight of the day. Going to La Paz.
Where are you from?
Germany.
Your documents?
Europe, yeah. I'm going to La Paz at 7:40.
Number plate?
663.
After a little confusion, I was able to check in for my flight to La Paz. Santa Cruz is currently the busiest airport in Bolivia and pretty much the gateway to the rest of the world, with plenty of international and intercontinental flights.
And here we are, all checked in. Let's head to the gate. So guys, just getting a quick breakfast, and last year I went to the highest commercial airport in the world on 4,400 meters in Daocheng, China, and literally altitude sickness got to me after a couple of hours and I felt so sick. So I hope I'm going to cope a little bit better today with all this. But on the first flight we take the 737 of Bolivian Airlines, and on the way back we fly on EcoJet, the only other airline in Bolivia, on an Avro jet. So today is going to be blessed with a lot of great views, I hope, and adventure. So let's do this.
The first flight is operated on a Boeing 737-800, which is the backbone of Bolivia's national airline for its domestic operation, offering plenty of flights around the country.
Alright, let's go. Let's board the 737 of Bolivian Airlines to La Paz. Hi, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. Morning.
And here we are, welcome
Hi, how are
aboard
you?
Bolivian 737 with 180 seats in a full economy class layout.
So guys, and here we are, welcome aboard the 737-800 of Bolivian Airlines, and some of my Indian viewers might be very delighted to know that this is a former Jet Airways, former Spice jet plane, 13 years old, taking us to La Paz. Flight time roughly 1 hour, and over there you also can see the Airbus A330-200, the new, what means new, considerably new to the fleet and in terms of product of Bolivian Airlines, which I took from Madrid to Santa Cruz a couple of months ago. Really nice ex-Virgin planes with lovely business class products. So check out that video as well if you want to have a proper idea of what it's like to fly Bolivian Airlines on an intercontinental flight.
Colóquense su propia máscara antes de ayudar a otras personas y estarás hasta que un miembro.
With a little delay of half an hour, we pushed back for our flight to La Paz, and I was very much looking forward to the views since there's a difference of 3,000 meters in altitude between those two airports. I'm also frequently asked about the camera and microphone I use to film my videos, so I've put together a comprehensive list on my website. You can find the link in the description box below. The flight as such was very uneventful, and there is literally no service at all. Not even a glass of water was served, which was kinda surprising. However, the views of the Andes on my way to La Paz were truly stunning, and I recommend everyone to sit on the left-hand side of the plane. Do not miss out on it. We also got a stunning sight of the Illimani mountain with 6,438 meters, the second highest in Bolivia. There's indeed something magical about the terrain in Bolivia. We then started our descent into La Paz Airport, the highest international airport in the world with 4,061 meters. It's one of the most challenging airports in the world to fly in and out, mainly due to the high altitude and the thin air that are extremely difficult for heavy planes. Hence, most of them have to operate with load restriction, making Santa Cruz the main airport for intercontinental flights instead of La Paz.
So guys, and here we are. Welcome to the highest international airport in the world, in La Paz. You probably noticed the Airbus A330neo over there. That's because Airbus is bringing their planes here for high altitude performance testings, as well as Boeing. So we're happy to spot one here in La Paz today.
I can already tell how thin the air is here in La Paz. Alright, now let's try to get a taxi or an Uber to the city center and let's check out what La Paz has to offer. And I also have to stock up on oxygen. I'm already quite lightheaded. Hi. How much Plaza Murillo?
Okay, 70 bolivianos.
70, yeah?
It was literally my first time in La Paz, so I was very eager to see what it's like. I took a taxi from the airport to the main square, and the drive takes around 20 minutes, depending on the traffic. La Paz has a population of roughly 1 million people, and is also considered to be the highest de facto capital on Earth.
So and here we are, welcome to Plaza Murillo, which is the heart, the center of La Paz, which equals the heart of Bolivia. Quite a unique city. On that high altitude, the architecture is very different, kind of reminds me of Kathmandu. But yeah, let's go explore. I also brought my drone with me, so we're gonna look and see what La Paz looks from above. Sorry. Sorry. So I brought my drone with me on this trip. So now let's launch it and let's see what La Paz looks from above. Well, that was La Paz from above, and it looks incredible, especially with the mountains in the background. Quite a lovely little capital, I must say, and I'm also still alright. The altitude sickness hasn't gotten to me yet. I remember in Daocheng it happened fairly quick, and I had the worst headache. Your joints start to hurt. It's just not a comfortable feeling, but for now I'm still alright. So we have 5 more hours until I take EcoJet back to Santa Cruz.
There was also some sort of demonstrations going on in La Paz, and the city was full of riot police. No idea what they were protesting for, but the police looked pretty prepared for some fine action. I decided to slowly make my way back to the airport, but before I wanted to get another view of the city and asked the taxi driver to drop me somewhere near the airport. However, that wasn't a smart idea, because I got lost in the process in an area with almost no taxis. However, the view was absolutely worth it.
So guys, I went to the lighthouse and the view was just incredible. It's so fascinating that you can build such a major city on such high altitude in a valley, in an environment that is absolutely not urban friendly at all. So it's quite impressive. And also when you see the housing built along the mountains, kind of reminds me of Kabul in Afghanistan, but it's just an incredible city. It's just really stunning. And on the way back to find a taxi somewhere, I got lost. So I'm somewhere in those suburbs here. I don't know where to go. So let me find out how I'm gonna get back to the airport ideally.
Hola, airport.
Buenas tardes. Aeropuerto, ¿no, señor?
Aeropuerto, sí.
So guys, and here we are again at the highest altitude airport, international airport in the world, El Alto here in La Paz. And I gotta say that the altitude is getting to me a little bit. I'm feeling a little dizzy and lightheaded and weak, exhausted. But now we're gonna go on the second flight for the day. We go on EcoJet, which is the only other airline that is operating currently in Bolivia. They have an Avro 85 only fleet, really old planes, 27 years on average. But it's always fun to fly a little Avro. So we're gonna check in, we're gonna see what they are like. Let's do this. Can you speak English?
Yes, how can I help you?
It's Santa Cruz.
This afternoon, right? Fine.
Yeah.
Do you have luggage with that?
No, nothing. And if you have a window seat, that would be perfect. Thank you for your help. Huh? Much appreciated. Bye. So, all checked in with EcoJet, and yeah, very nice check-in agent. So 10 out of 10, and got my window seat, and now we're gonna head to the gate. So let's do this. So I made it to the gate. I'm very lightheaded, so the altitude is really getting to my brain. I mean, what is not getting to my brain is oxygen, I feel. But my plane, the EcoJet, is just right there at the gate. It's an ex-Lufthansa CityLine plane, so it was flying in Germany for all its life, and then now ended up here in Bolivia. So yeah, boarding starts in a few minutes. Excited to see what they have to offer, if anything at all. So there we go, boarding EcoJet.
As mentioned, EcoJet is the only other operational airline in Bolivia and has been operating since 2013. It has a fleet of 4 Avro RJ85 jets which will fly only domestically. The cabin features 93 seats in an economy class only configuration.
So guys, and here we are. Welcome on EcoJet, the second airline of Bolivia on the 28-year-old Avro. The nice thing about the old seat is that the padding is actually really nice, but then you also notice that the cabin is pretty dated. So yeah, that bird has done quite some cycles. 28, that was like 1999 or something like that. Long time ago. I was still in school, in middle school, I think. But yeah, that doesn't happen very often. I actually took the wrong seat. I was sitting on 12A instead of 12F. And being the freaking flyer, I was like sitting there and the guy came and said like, "You sitting on my seat?" I said, "No, it's my seat." And then I looked at my boarding pass and I was wrong. Because I was sitting at 12F, but he was all nice about it. But yeah, I'm so used to sit on the left side of the plane. It's absolutely boiling inside the cabin though. It's really, really hot, and that doesn't really help when you already have a lack of oxygen in your system. Hope we get airborne soon. I think I have a slight sunburn as well. The whole package.
We then pushed back, and on our way to the runway I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw an actual DC-10 cargo plane. An absolute beauty and an absolute gem of a plane to see, since they've become so rare to see these days. What an absolute treat for my eyes. But just as impressive, we took off at 5 PM sharp, just according to our schedule. Well done EcoJet, that was quite unique. You could also see how much runway we had to use in order to get airborne. This is primarily to the very thin air and high altitude in La Paz. You could say that the plane almost struggled to climb out of the airport. Did I like it? Probably not as much, especially on a 20-year-old plane.
So we are halfway there in Santa Cruz, and we just had some really intense turbulences. And a lot of you always ask me, "Josh, aren't you scared of turbulences?" Generally not. Let's say I fly on a 380, on a 350, on a Dreamliner. I don't mind them at all because I know those planes don't crash. I mean, touch wood, it hasn't happened so far, and I hope it never does. But you just have trust in the plane, right? And the airline especially. But when you fly a 20-year-old plane somewhere in Bolivia called EcoJet, and we have turbulences, that's when I don't feel too comfortable, to be honest. That's when I get sweaty palms, and it isn't one of my most favorite things. However, then a plane has never crashed in recent times due to turbulences, so, and the chance to die in your sleep is a lot higher than to die in an airplane crash. That's what I always try to remember as well. So yeah, that's my answer. It's always when you fly on top of the clouds. That's when you have the worst turbulences always.
I almost feel bad having no confidence in EcoJet, but we were treated to an absolute butter landing by the pilot, so I do have to say that they seem to be quite skilled, and I appreciate that they brought me back in one piece to Santa Cruz.
Need help?
How do I summarize my flight on the airline? Honestly, there wasn't much to report, since there was again no service. No water, no snack, no nothing. However, looking at the beautiful plane while disembarking, totally priceless for an Af geek like me.
So guys, and here we are, welcome back to the hotel in Santa Cruz. Slightly sunburned, and I think I am done with highest airport challenges. After Daosheng and La Paz, I'm just simply not built for it. I can't stand the altitude. My head just explodes. It's not a nice feeling. Altitude sickness is not a nice feeling, and especially not for the day. However, La Paz is an absolute beautiful capital. Really loved my time there, and yeah, the flight in the morning was very eventless, and then EcoJet was, yeah, it was alright. It was okay, but yeah, tomorrow I'm off on Airlines Argentina to Ushuaia with a stop in Buenos Aires. So if you don't want to miss out on this one, check out the link in the description box below. No, hit that subscribe button. But you can also check out the links in the description box below. Lots of cool stuff. My Patreon, where you can get access to my WhatsApp group and all that kind of stuff. Get your Cahill keyring. Or I also have a list there with all the gear that I use, the camera, the drone. So you can see what I use, and then you can use the Amazon link. And I get a little commission if you buy whatever on Amazon with no extra cost for you. So that's also a way to support my channel. If you click the link, so the cookie opens, and then if you purchase a new fridge, the price is the same, but I get a little commission. I can do more flight reviews. All right, guys, this is it. I am gonna go to sleep because I'm really tired, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. That's it.